Hi guys, it's Susan from Second Act. I'm doing a second video today because I was tagged by new Nisi for the pre-op to post-op video series. And I thought I would take this on because right after Nisi tagged me on it, I actually had a little situation come up that really made me think of something I should have done earlier. So I thought I would share that with you. I'm going to keep this a short and sweet video because I know that there are a lot of people out there who have done this and have dished out some great advice. I, have agreed with everything I've seen on all the videos, such as things from, making sure you do your research on your doctor, getting recommendations from people or other doctors for that. And so along that line, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was to be involved in your insurance approval process. And what I mean by that is I had called the number my doctor told me to call at the hospital, and I very quickly spoke with somebody who said, "Oh yes, you're approved for, the surgery, everything will be covered, one up to 100%, after you meet your deductible," which my deductible was around 300. Now my doctor's office was different. My doctor's office charged separately, and so I did pay out of pocket about $1,500 to my doctor because for some reason he charged $750 for the initial consultation and everything up front, and then there were just the food that you'll need for your pre-op if you need to do that, the weight loss portion of it. I had to do a 10-day fast, so I bought that from the office, and just some general visits. So that, for me anyway, was not covered under my insurance. That was extra for my doctor's office. And then came the hospital part of it, the actual surgery. And for the most part, everything was covered. However, all of a sudden, this past week, I get a summary from my insurance company for a portion of the hospital bill that is not covered by, for whatever reason, by my insurance. And I have it here in front of me. I'm still not even clear what it's for. But the original charge, the submitted charges were for $3,500, and my plan allowance is for $1,379 of this. And they're saying that I owe the provider $2,300, which is insane to me, and I'm not going to pay it. I will be calling to fight this. Because basically it's saying that whatever this is for, and it really is not clear, it's just for surgical assistance is what it says. It says surgical assistance of Northern California non-participating provider. So this is basically telling me that there was, one of the doctors that was there or whatever that worked on me was a non-participating doctor, and that I'm going to owe this $2,300. So one of my advice to you guys, if you are pre-op stage, is make sure that you really clarify what's being covered. Because like I said, I was told that my surgery was going to be covered 100%, and then all of a sudden I get this. And like I said, I will be fighting this. I'm going to pick up the phone and call them because I don't agree with this at all. So, when ask questions, I don't feel like I asked enough questions. So, make sure your anesthesiologist, and that may be what this is for. A lot of times it's the anesthesiologists that are not under the same plan your doctor is. So make sure that your anesthesiologist is covered, and that, any portions that you're going to have done, just make sure that you clarify that all aspects of this are covered under your plan, and if not, ask what portion might be at your expense, so that at least you're aware of some money that you're going to have to put out. And I think we all have to put out a little money, but certainly the $1,500 I put out to my doctor plus $2,300 for this, is not something I was expecting. So I will be calling shortly on that. The other thing, once you have your operation, just be sure that you follow the instructions that you get. For me, I had 10 days of fasting after my surgery. I had 2 weeks basically of the mush food, the mashed food that I had to eat, and that stage wasn't too bad. And then I went into, the solid foods. So, um, I would just say follow the instructions and take care of yourself, because I feel that this initial stage when you come out of the hospital is a good time where you're going to establish some of your habits. And so creating those habits and sticking to those habits, I think, is going to help you along your weight loss journey. I've actually watched some videos where some people have come out of their surgery and had just said, oh, I've done the fast for 3 days now and I'm done. I was just over it. I can't do this any longer. And started going into the mashed foods. And then, from the mashed foods started, eating pretty quick. And that's fine. That's their choice. But I don't think, by not following the directions and thinking that you can cheat the system, if you will, I think that's a setup for failure for down the road. So follow the process and make sure that you do what you're supposed to do. And that doesn't mean that if you mess up one day, you're doomed. Don't think that either, because then they're on the other side. I've seen videos where people are so concerned that one little thing went wrong in their day, and that is that going to screw them up. I just create a nice balance for yourself. That's what it's all about, is finding your balance and making sure that you're following instructions and that you're going to set up good habits for yourself, but at the same time, not so rigid that it's going to be something that scares you to death. So that was, another thing. Um, when you are on solid foods, I think one of the most important aspects is food prep. It's not something that I did right away. As a matter of fact, this past week is really the first time that I've really gone out and bought the little containers and, really prepped some food. I've been eating well, and I've done okay. But now with these food preps, what I'm finding is it's great to have these little containers in the refrigerator that you can just grab, and it's the food you're supposed to eat. It's ready to go, and you don't have to worry about anything. You can just eat right away. Otherwise, if you're like me, you'll tend to go for the Quest bars or quick items that have the protein you need, or the shakes that have the protein you need. But you really are supposed to be eating and establishing yourself with real food. You're supposed to be building a positive relationship with food. And so, going to those Quest bars all the time and the ready-made shakes and that type of thing, that it's fine for an occasional fill-in, but it's not really something that you're supposed to fall back on. And I felt like I was falling back on it a little too much. So it was really great. For instance, today at lunch, I was hungry and I thought, what am I going to have? And I remembered I had prepped those meals, and I went into my refrigerator and I had several containers sitting there. I just grabbed one of the containers, and it was some turkey, some cheese, some almonds, and I was ready to go. It was a high protein meal that was ready for me. And it was even, the way I prepped it was that I had cut the turkey up. I could have even dumped it all into a salad, like a bowl of lettuce, if I had wanted to, and made it into a salad. So I think, if you prep something that's a little versatile like that, that's going to be something that helps you along the way. Um, and the other thing that I think would be a really good, sorry, I'm reading some notes here. The other thing that I think is really good for you, that I know has helped me significantly, is tracking my foods and tracking, items with some sort of an app. I know that most people use Fitness Pal. I use the Bariatric Pal. I think they're very, very similar, where you can track your food. They actually have a scanner on them, so you can actually scan a label, and all the, stats fall right into the system. So it's very cool, very easy to use. And you will be surprised as to the numbers at the end of the day. If we're all used to, I think prior to surgery, putting anything we want into our bodies, and we never really, or I'll speak for myself, I never really kept track of all that, and I'd probably be horrified now if I was keeping track of what I was eating. But I found that this bariatric pal that I'm using is really helpful to me because it really makes me aware of how many carbs I've eaten, if I'm getting my protein in, if I'm getting my water in. You can keep track of all of that. You can keep track of your exercise. The other thing you can keep track of, and I highly suggest doing this, take your measurements at the very beginning. Do it because if you are like me, I have had a very slow weight loss process throughout this, and this is even in the beginning, where people were losing 10 pounds their first week. If I lost a pound that first week, I don't recall now, but that would be all I lost. And I think for the first 4 weeks, so for the first month of my surgery, I think I lost 4 pounds. I was losing 1 pound a week, which was, discouraging, but I knew I'm 55 years old, so I'm a little older, and I don't necessarily want to say wiser, but I knew that there had to be something going on. I also was type 2 diabetic, and so my body had that insulin resistance thing going on. So I don't know if it was partially because of that, partially because of the fact that I am older, and so my body and my metabolism was just slow. But had I not really let that go, the fact that I was only losing a pound a week, and been using clothes for a better example of how I was losing my weight. So by that I mean I was pulling out a top I wasn't fitting into, and each week I would try that top on. And I knew that I was losing weight because the top was getting looser and looser. And by the time the month was up, I was actually fitting into a top I couldn't fit to. So even though I'd only lost 4 pounds, I was fitting into a top that I wasn't fitting into at all. So I knew that something was happening with my body, but that gave me the NSV that I needed, and in order to not get depressed, not feel upset. So you need to find things like that will help you stay on track and not get upset. Because my next bullet point is that we're all on our own journey. Our bodies are all different. We all come from different backgrounds, history, so our journey is going to be, even though we're on a similar journey, our journeys are all going to be individual and independent of one another. So take that into account, and don't let what you see someone else doing or accomplishing weigh heavy on you, because um, you know you're just different. And don't judge somebody else if you're seeing somebody else do something that seems inappropriate to you, because again, maybe that's what's working for them. But do stay true to yourself. Don't go off and do something that maybe in the back of your head is wrong. The whole idea here, and you will find this as your journey continues, the struggle is still real. You still have to do things on your own. Having the surgery is not a miracle answer. There is still work that is involved, and the work comes in even more as you go further into your journey. So the better habits that you set for yourself in the beginning, the more established you're going to be as you move forward in this journey, so that this will be a lifelong change for you. So that is definitely something that I really want to encourage you guys, really know that because it might be easy in the beginning, it does not mean it's going to continue to be easy. I've seen many videos where people have gained 30, 40 pounds back. I've even, seen some videos where a few people have gained all the weight back, and, my heart just goes out to them because, I don't want that for myself. And so I really want to stay on track. And that brings up my final point, and that is stay involved in a community of support, whether it be here on YouTube. These YouTubers are in the WLS community, in weight loss surgery community, are amazing. Everybody puts it all out there. You will see people who are showing you their bodies, their skin, who share all their tips. It is an amazing, amazing community, and it gives you so much information and knowledge that helps you move forward through your journey as well. So, there's a YouTube community, there's a Facebook community, there's an Instagram community. Make sure you get involved. And that's, I know my doctor's office offers a lifetime of support. So do whatever you're comfortable with doing in order to move forward with this and to have that support that you need, because that is what's going to keep you on track, keep you accountable. And I'm telling you, these people have great suggestions and inspiration that will keep you moving forward. And before you know it, you will be well into your journey. You will have lost, your weight, and then it comes down to maintenance. And that's when the hard work will come in, and those good habits that you have established will need to really kick in and move you forward for a lifelong, healthy life. So I'm still in my journey, so I still have a lot to learn. I will always stay connected to this community because it is a lifelong commitment. We made that commitment when we decided to have the surgery. So, keep it real and keep moving forward. So good luck to you, and please, please feel free to give me any suggestions you have as well. I'm still learning. I will always be learning, and I really appreciate everything everybody has to say. But I do wish you the best. All right, take care. Bye.